Have you ever cried in secret because of something they said about your body, your face, your hair? Have you ever felt that paralyzing shame, that lump in your throat that won't go away? Has anyone ever looked at you with contempt, made a mean joke, or simply ignored you as if you didn't deserve attention because of your appearance? If you clicked on this video, it was not by chance. You were guided here because today, right now, at this exact moment, something very important needs to be said directly to you. Those people who laughed at you, who humiliated you, who made you feel inferior because of your body, your weight, the shape of your nose, your scars, your wrinkles, your way of dressing, those people are going to reap exactly what they sowed. And this harvest has already begun. But pay attention. This video is not about revenge. It is about divine justice. It is about you understanding that there is a greater force operating in your favor, even when you cannot see it. It is about you finally freeing yourself from the pain you have been carrying for years, decades perhaps, because of words and looks that should never have reached you. I am going to show you exactly what is happening on the spiritual plane with those who hurt you. I will reveal to you why you were chosen to go through this, and what is the greater purpose behind every tear you shed in silence. And at the end of this video, you will understand why your story is about to change in a way you cannot even imagine. Stay with me until the end, because what I am going to share here can completely transform the way you see yourself from today onwards. Let me tell you something that perhaps no one has ever told you. When someone laughs at your appearance, when someone belittles you because of your body, that person is not talking about you. They are screaming about themselves. This is not cheap motivational talk. This is science. Researchers from the Universidade de São Paulo, in partnership with behavioral psychology centers, have already proven that people who humiliate others for physical characteristics suffer from something called compensatory projection. In simple terms, it means that they transfer to you the insecurities they cannot face in themselves. That co-worker who made a joke about your weight probably lives tormented by their own image in the mirror. That family member who always commented on your hair, your skin, your clothes. They carry wounds so deep that the only way to relieve their own pain is by spreading pain to others. But here is where things get interesting from a spiritual point of view. When someone uses words to hurt you, that person is not just being mean. They are generating an energetic debt. And the universe, God, the creative force, whatever you prefer to call it, has a perfect accounting system. Nothing goes unnoticed. Absolutely nothing. Have you ever heard of the law of return? In Brazil, we usually say that he who wounds with iron shall be wounded. But this law goes far beyond a popular saying. It is a universal principle that operates regardless of whether you believe in it or not. Spiritual traditions all over the world recognize this law. In Hinduism and Buddhism, they call it karma. In Christianity, Jesus said, "Whatever a man sows, that he will also reap." In Spiritism, Allan Kardec explained in detail how actions generate consequences that accompany us. In Umbanda and Candomblé, one speaks of the return of the energy we put into the world. They are different cultures, different eras, different continents, but all arrived at the same conclusion. Our actions have consequences, and these consequences always return to us. Every word spoken with the intention to hurt returns to the one who pronounced it. Not necessarily in the same way, but always with the same intensity, sometimes even greater. And do you know what is most impressive? Time does not erase this debt. You may have been humiliated 5, 10, 20 years ago. That person may have even forgotten what they said, but the universe does not forget. The record is made, and the collection comes. Now I need to ask you an important question, and I want you to answer with sincerity, even if it is only to yourself. How many times did you stop doing something out of fear of the judgment of others? How many opportunities did you lose because you thought you were not beautiful enough, thin enough, young enough, tall enough? How many times did you avoid going to the beach, to the pool, to a party, to an important event because you did not want people to look at you? How many photos did you delete because you did not like your reflection? How many times did you hide? If you are watching this video, this probably happens more frequently than you would like to admit. And I understand. I really understand. Because when someone laughs at you, especially when you are younger, it leaves a mark. It creates a wound that often not even time can heal alone. You grow up carrying this pain, And even when you become an adult, even when you build a life, a career, a family, that voice remains there. Very quiet, sometimes almost imperceptible, but always present, telling you that you are not good enough, that you do not deserve to be seen, that you should hide. But today this voice will begin to lose strength, because you will understand where it came from and why it no longer belongs to you. There is a very powerful concept in psychology called introjection. Basically, it means that we absorb the opinions and judgments of the people around us, especially when we are most vulnerable, and we start to treat them as if they were absolute truths about ourselves. This happens a lot in childhood and adolescence, when we are still forming our identity. In this phase, we are like emotional sponges. We absorb everything, the good and the bad. And when someone in a position of authority or influence, be it a father, a mother, a teacher, a popular classmate, says something negative about us, this message goes deep. It installs itself in the deepest layers of our psyche. In Brazil especially, we live in a culture that values appearance too much. You just have to turn on the television, open a magazine, browse social networks. The beauty standards are relentless. And when you do not fit into these standards, society makes a point of reminding you of it. Sometimes in a subtle way, sometimes in a cruel way. When someone said that you were ugly, that your body was wrong, that your appearance was a reason for shame, you may have introjected this message. It entered your mind and began to be part of your identity. You started to see yourself through the eyes of those who hurt you. But here is the truth that no one told you. That opinion was never about you. It was about the limitation, the pain, and the smallness of the one who expressed it. You were not born thinking you were ugly. You did not come into the world ashamed of your body. This was placed in you. It was implanted. And everything that was implanted can be removed. From now on, every time that internal voice tells you that you are not enough, I want you to answer, "This is not mine. This was placed in me, and I am returning it to whoever gave it to me." This simple change of perspective is revolutionary. Because when you understand that that judgment was not born in you, you gain the power to free yourself from it. Now let's talk about the turnaround, because that is what you came looking for here, isn't it? You want to know what happens to those who hurt you. You want to understand how divine justice operates. First, I need you to understand something fundamental. Karma is not punishment. Many people confuse this. They think karma is God punishing bad people, but that is not how it works. Karma is simply cause and consequence. It is the universe rebalancing the energies. When someone hurts you, that person creates an imbalance. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom, works constantly to restore the balance. This means that whoever planted pain in your life will reap pain in their life. Not because God is vengeful, but because this is the natural law. Just as gravity makes objects fall, karma makes actions return. And here is something you perhaps do not know. Often the harvest has already begun, and you did not even notice. That person who laughed at your body may today be struggling with their own health. That group that excluded you at school may be living empty lives, without true connections. That family member who always criticized you may be reaping the loneliness of someone who pushed everyone around them away with their bitterness. You do not need to wish harm upon anyone. You do not need to root for them to suffer. The universe is already taking care of that. Your only responsibility is to take care of your own healing. If this content is making sense to you, if you are feeling that these words were made especially for your moment, leave a like on this video. This simple gesture helps this content reach other people who also need to hear this message. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, take the opportunity to subscribe now and activate the little bell. I post content like this every week, and you will not want to miss it. Now I'm going to tell you something even deeper. Something that will completely change the way you see everything you went through. You were chosen. I know this may seem strange. After all, if you were chosen, why did you have to go through so much pain? Why did you need to suffer so much from the judgments and humiliations? The answer lies in something that spiritual traditions all over the world recognize. The strongest souls receive the most difficult challenges. You did not go through all this because you deserved to suffer. You went through all this because your soul is strong enough to transform pain into wisdom. You were chosen for this journey because you have within yourself the capacity to use this experience to grow, evolve, and eventually help others who go through the same. Think with me. How many people do you know who went through humiliations because of their appearance and became more empathetic, more sensitive, more conscious people? How many of these people developed an emotional depth that those who never suffered simply do not have? This is not a coincidence, it is purpose. The pain you felt was preparing you. Every tear was refining you. Every moment of shame was strengthening you in ways that you will only completely understand later. There is a fascinating research done by Brazilian psychologists who studied people who suffered bullying in childhood and adolescence because of their appearance. What they discovered was surprising. These people, when they reached adulthood, presented significantly higher levels of emotional intelligence, empathy, and resilience than people who never went through this type of experience. I am not saying that bullying is good. Of course not. I am saying that you who went through this developed capacities that others do not have. You learned to read people's emotions. You developed a sensitivity to the suffering of others. You became stronger, even if you do not always feel that way. And more importantly, you developed the capacity to truly love, because whoever knows the pain of rejection values acceptance infinitely more. Whoever knows what it is to be judged by appearance manages to see far beyond the surface of people. These are rare skills, these are gifts, and they were born from your pain. Now I want to speak directly to you about the turnaround that is arriving in your life. You are at a turning point. If you have reached this video, if these words are resonating in your heart, it is because something is moving in your energetic field. The universe is preparing something for you. A change that perhaps you are already feeling, even if you still cannot name it. A feeling that something different is to come. A positive restlessness. A hope that insists on sprouting even when the mind tries to doubt. This turnaround is not about the people who hurt you receiving what they deserve, although that will also happen because karma is inescapable. The true turnaround is about you. It is about you finally freeing yourself from the prison they built around you with their judgments. It is about you looking at yourself in the mirror and, for the first time in a long time, seeing beauty. It is about you occupying the spaces you always avoided. It is about you living without apologizing for existing. The turnaround is you becoming who you always should have been, free from the chains that others placed on you. But for this turnaround to be completed, you need to do your part. And your part is not difficult, but it requires courage. You need to forgive. I know this is the most difficult part. How to forgive those who hurt you so deeply. How to release people who never apologized, who perhaps do not even recognize the evil they did. In Brazil, we grew up with the idea that forgiving is weakness, that whoever forgives is passing a cloth, as they say around here, that the person deserves to suffer for what they did. But this mentality only keeps you trapped. It only keeps you energetically connected to the one who hurt you. The great master Chico Xavier, who dedicated his life to teaching about spirituality here in Brazil, used to say that forgiveness is the balm that heals not the one who offended, but the one who was offended. He was not talking about ignoring the evil they did to you. He was talking about freeing yourself from it. But here is the truth that will free you. Forgiving is not about them, it is about you. As long as you carry hurt, anger, resentment, you are trapped to these people. They continue occupying space in your mind, in your heart, in your energy. Every time you remember what they did and feel that pain, you are reliving the wound, you are giving them power over you. To forgive is to let go. It is to say what you did was wrong, but I refuse to carry this with me for the rest of my life. I refuse to let you continue hurting me. I choose my freedom. And when you forgive, something magical happens. That energy that was trapped in resentment frees itself, and it transforms. It returns to you as strength, as clarity, as peace. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to those who hurt you. It is a gift you give to yourself. I want to propose an exercise for you now. It may seem simple, but it is extremely powerful. Close your eyes for a moment and visualize the person who hurt you the most because of your appearance. It can be someone from the family, from school, from work. It does not matter. Visualize this person in front of you. Now mentally say to them, I release you. What you did hurt me, but I will no longer carry this pain. I hand this over to God, to the universe. I trust that divine justice will operate at the right time, and I choose to move forward, free. If you manage to do this from the heart, you will feel an immediate lightness, as if a weight you did not even know you carried were removed from your shoulders. And if you cannot do this right now, that is fine. Forgiving is a process. Sometimes it takes time. The important thing is to start. It is to have the intention. The rest comes naturally. Now I need to talk about something that many people do not understand when the subject is karma and divine justice. The greatest revenge against those who humiliated you is not seeing that person suffer. The greatest revenge is you being happy. Think with me. The objective of the one who humiliated you was to belittle you. It was to make you feel inferior, incapable, unworthy. If you allow yourself to be happy, if you love yourself, if you live fully, you are proving that they failed. Every genuine smile you give is a victory over those who tried to destroy you. Every moment of peace you experience is a declaration that they had no power over you. Every time you look in the mirror and feel gratitude for the body you have, you are winning. And do you know what is most beautiful? You do not need to do anything for them to know. You do not need to post on social networks. You do not need to show anyone. Your happiness is yours, and it is the definitive proof that you overcame. I want to share a story with you. A true story of a Brazilian woman who went through exactly what you are going through. She grew up in a small town in the interior of Minas Gerais. Throughout her childhood and adolescence, she was the subject of jokes because of her weight. The schoolmates laughed. The family made comments. Even teachers, who should have protected her, sometimes participated in the jokes. At the Sunday dinner table, when the whole family gathered, there was always someone who commented, "Wow, aren't you going to eat a little more?" with that ironic tone. Or else, "These clothes are a bit tight, aren't they?" They were stabs disguised as concern, and she, a child, did not know how to defend herself. She just absorbed it. At school, the situation was even worse. Cruel nicknames that I will not even repeat here. Exclusion from groups. Giggles when she passed by. No boy asked her to dance at the festas juninas. She spent the breaks alone, pretending she did not care, while inside something was dying little by little. She grew up hiding. She always wore baggy clothes. She avoided photos. She refused invitations to parties. She created an armor around herself, a protection against a world that seemed determined to reject her. At 35 years old, she had a crisis. She realized that she had spent her entire life hiding, waiting for a day when she would finally be good enough to truly live. But that day never arrived. That was when she decided that something needed to change, not in her body, but in her mind. She began a journey of self-knowledge. She sought therapy. She dove into spiritual practices, and little by little she freed herself from the voices she had introjected throughout her entire life. Today, at 48 years old, she is one of the most radiant people you could meet. Not because she lost weight or changed her appearance, she continues with the same body. But something in her changed deeply. She loves herself, and this love overflows. People want to be near her. She radiates a light that attracts. And do you know what happened to those who humiliated her? Many are living unhappy lives, trapped in loveless marriages, in jobs they hate, in bodies they cannot accept. Not because she wished for this, but because the law of return operated. She did not need to do anything. She just lived her life, healed her wounds, and let the universe take care of the rest. This can be your story too. In fact, I believe it already is. The fact that you are here watching this video, seeking understanding and healing, is already a sign that the change has begun. You are waking up. You are freeing yourself. And when you free yourself, when you heal yourself, you become unshakable. Not because no one else will criticize you. Petty people will always exist, but because their opinion will no longer reach you. You will be so secure in who you are that the judgments of others will simply slip off without finding anywhere to grab onto. This is the true turnaround. It is not about them, it is about you becoming free. Before finishing, I want to leave some truths with you. Truths that I want you to engrave in your heart and repeat to yourself whenever you need to. First truth, your body is sacred. It is the temple of your soul. It does not matter the size, the shape, the marks it carries. It brought you here. It allows you to live, to experience, to love. It deserves respect and gratitude, not shame. Second truth, the opinion of others about you is not your responsibility. You cannot control what people think or say. You can only control how you react. And you can choose not to give power to voices that do not deserve to be heard. You know that aunt who always comments on your body at family parties? That co-worker who makes jokes about your appearance? That acquaintance who always has something negative to say? The opinion of these people says much more about them than about you. And you are not obliged to accept this opinion as truth. Imagine that someone offers you a gift and you refuse. Who keeps the gift? The one who offered it, of course. In the same way, when someone offers you a mean criticism, an offense, a judgment, you can simply refuse. Not accept it. Leave it with the one who tried to give it to you. This is a powerful way to protect your energy. Third truth, you are much more than your appearance. You are your dreams, your values, your connections, your contributions to the world. You are the way you make people feel. You are the love you give and receive. To reduce you to your appearance is to ignore 99% of who you really are. Fourth truth, divine justice is real and inescapable. You do not need to worry about collecting from anyone. The universe has its own system of balance. Your only task is to take care of your own evolution. Fifth truth, you were chosen for this journey because you have the necessary strength to transform it. You are not a victim. You are a warrior. And the most important battle you are already winning. The battle to love yourself. Now I want to ask something of you. In the comments down here, write a word or a phrase that you need to hear today. It can be something you are promising yourself. It can be a declaration of liberation. It can simply be, I love myself, or I am enough. When you write, you materialize. You take it out of thought and put it into the world. And when other people read it, they are inspired and strengthened too. Let's create together a chain of healing here in this video. Let's show that we are many, that we are not alone, and that we are all on the path of liberation. I will finish with a direct message to you. God, the universe, the creative force, does not make mistakes. You are not a mistake. You were created exactly as you should be. The people who laughed at you, who judged you, who belittled you, they were blind. Blind to your light, blind to your beauty, blind to your value. I want you to understand something very important. Your physical appearance is just the packaging. It is the paper that wraps the gift, and the real gift is inside. It is your soul, your heart, your essence. Superficial people are hypnotized by the packaging. Real people manage to see what is inside. And do you know what the irony is? With the passing of time, everyone's packaging changes. Physical beauty transforms. Whoever was considered beautiful ages. Whoever was considered ugly often flourishes. But inner beauty, that remains, that grows, that expands. So while those people who judged you were worried about the surface, you were, even without knowing, developing something much more valuable, depth. But you no longer need their approval. You do not need them to see what you are worth, because you are going to start seeing it for yourself. From now on, from today, from this moment. The turnaround has arrived. It is not a promise for the future. It is happening now while you hear these words, while something inside you begins to change, to awaken, to free itself. You are beautiful. You are valuable. You are loved by the universe, and nothing that anyone said or did can change that. Believe in this, live this, and observe how your life will transform. If this video touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Sometimes a single word can change a person's life, and you can be the instrument of this change. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself. You deserve all the love in the world. And remember, you were chosen. Not to suffer, but to overcome, grow and shine. Until next time.